Hello, I was making a thumbnail and I decided, hey, why not show my drawing process for the little Mewse character? Because why not? Alright, so basically I'm working on the imposter thumbnail right now. This is what I have so far. I know it looks bad, but it'll turn out pretty okay, I think, I hope. Okay, so what I like to do is, since I draw inside the actual photo editor itself, which is weird, I know, I like to grab a white background thing, and then I just turn down the opacity for it a little bit. If you can't tell, this is completely unscripted, I don't know what I'm doing. And then I add an extra empty layer and I go over to the draw side on here. It has like that little paintbrush here. And I turn down the color all the way to black and I turn down the softness just by 10%. It starts at 20%, but I like to turn it down to 10. Then basically I just start with a circle. My pen is not plugged in. I only have two ports on my computer, one for my microphone and one for my mouse or my pen, so I keep having to plug and unplug them. It's stupid, I know. So anyway, I get the circle down, I just try to get a circle as good as possible. Doesn't have to be particularly good at the top though, since that's gonna be covered by the hat, you know? I'm gonna be stuttering a lot, aren't I? That circle's kinda good, but it's not big enough. It needs to be big enough to be like a reaction YouTuber, you know? There, finally, I got a circle that's kinda good enough. I'm just gonna move that to like somewhere around here. I need it to be in like a middle position so I can actually move around the drawing tool however I want it for the actual end product. So then after that, I draw the brim of the hat, which I have a weird way of drawing it that isn't always perfect each time. It's weird, but for now, I'm just gonna like try to get the shape good. I'm a bit of a perfectionist. I don't know if that ever comes across in any of my videos with how reckless I am, but when I'm doing stuff in a controlled environment, I need things to be right. So just like the circle head, I think this might take a while. Alright, I think that looks about good. I think it looks like it has dimension, weirdly enough, and I like that. Alright, and then I move on to the actual hat part of the hat. I don't know what to call it. And for this, I like to just kind of like, I used to draw it just like that, like a big lump, but then I realized that does not look very hat-shaped, so I tried to meet it in between real life and everything by making it like a bit flatter, but also sticking out, you know? And I feel like that looks good, but I'm not too sure how I feel about it, you know? I'll just keep it. For now, I can always change it later if I really have to. Alright, and then, because it would look way too big, it would look like I had way too much forehead if I were to just leave it at that, so I like to connect the brim to the other side of the hat a little bit, just so that way it looks a little bit better. It makes it look like I don't have so much of a five head, and then I just fill in the hat. Because this is just black and it isn't actually part of the coloring process, which will come later, I just like to do this part first. And yes, it's going to be the exact same color as all the other lines. No shade lighter, no shade darker. Alright, and then I make a new layer, and then I make the eyes, because the eyes, like, you draw one eye, like, let me just draw a somewhat good eye real quick. You know, it has a little tip at the top, but don't worry. And then you draw the next eye, and it just doesn't line up. It isn't the same. I mean, like, that's a pretty bad example since I'm perfect, but, like, I don't know. Alright, so basically it's gonna be looking forward. And, like, I don't do, like, the, you know, that. Or, I guess it would be more like that? I don't know. But I don't do that, because I'm stupid, and I should do that. So what I like to do is I just make the eye, I copy and paste it, and then, one sec, just had to plug my mouse in. Then I take this, after copying and pasting it, and then I just kind of move it around to try and make it, like, look like it's looking somewhere. I've been experimenting with, like, making the eyes, like, tilt inwards a little bit, you know, kind of like in a Senor Pale style. It's gonna be a little bit blocky around the edges, by the way, because like, that's the best I can do with the photo editor. But anyway, I got sidetracked. I've been trying to experiment with, like, tilting the eyes in to make it look more like it's looking inward, you know? Then, like, I zoom out to see how it'll look in the actual thumbnail. And then I take an extra layer and I put it below the head layer. And I just grab the pen again. And then I just start drawing the body. And, like, the body is always the weirdest part to me. Because as you may have noticed in previous thumbnails, I actually take other thumbnails for reference. And, like, I basically just go over them because that's funny to me. Like, I've parodied 8-Bit Ryan, I've parodied Sniper Wolf. It's stupid. But I'm not doing that type of thing for this one, so the body's gonna look a little bit weird. Because, like, with the 8-Bit Ryan one, for example, like, his body was, like, it was weird. It looked like that when I trace over it, but, you know, it's fine. It's fine to trace over things if it's real-life objects, right? Yeah, I'm gonna go with yes. If this bites me in the ass in the future, I take no responsibility. Alright, and then, like, I don't know how I should go about drawing the body. I think I should do, like, a gamer hunch right there. Yeah, that looks pretty funny. Alright, I almost forgot about the mouth. Let me do that real quick. Just gotta... Wait. Nope, that's way too big. Like, I want it to do, like, a smirk, you know? Does that look good? Yeah, let's see it in, like, a different spot real quick. Does that look good? I'm looking at the preview because like I could zoom out, but like why? Just stab over there. I feel like that looks pretty decent, maybe? Nah. I want to do it again. I feel like it led up too much. Alright, and then get a good curve, and then you don't want it to be too sharp, but you don't want it to be too soft either. I feel like that's about good. Then I'll just move this like closer over here. Closer to the eyes might look better. Yeah, I feel like that looks pretty decent. Maybe like rotate a bit. Yeah. I'm having struggles over here, okay. Yeah, that looks kind of decent, but I know that in the future when I look over this video again and I improve my art style inevitably, it's gonna look like crap. But you know, it's okay for now, Gotta live in the moment. And like, I don't like to draw my character with arms when they're not in use. I don't know why, but it just looks bulky to me. So just gonna leave that like that. That's on to the actual coloring process. And for the coloring, I actually like to do that all in one layer because I don't see any other reason not to. I might in the future, yet again. You know, this whole entire video is like basically subject to change as I change. So just gotta make that clear right now. And then for the actual coloring process, I just take completely white for the face. Because I am completely white. I'm not completely white in real life, but like I might as well be. I don't go outside. And I just basically go around with the white. I like to try and make sure I get underneath like the eyes and the mouth and everything, so that way I actually have room to move them around, you know? It's not the most important thing in the world. I can always go back and recolor it, but you know, it just saves me a little bit of time. And that's moving on to the hat, and like I like to use the basic like pixeler colors, by the way, that's what I'm using. I'll put a link in the description in case you want to use it too. It's just a website. And I like to go over here to this purple right here and then move it over to the blue. It's not always going to be the exact same color, but I feel like it looks close enough that I don't need to worry about that right now. I see people using like color sheets and stuff, but that just isn't for me. I don't feel like putting too much effort into it. And then I just move over to the left once for the body for the blue color. I made this character like a long time ago. So like, it's gonna look a little juvenile, but you know, I think it looks kind of cool. Here, I'm just gonna erase this real quick. Just gonna swiping technique so it looks clean. I don't like how small like the hat part looks, so I'm gonna go over that again. You know, I feel like this is a good lesson that you're always gonna make mistakes. Even me, who's been drawing this stupid little character for years now, makes mistakes about it. Alright, so I feel like it just needs to be out a little bit more. Yeah, I feel like that's like good. Like making it like, yeah. I feel like if that was like up a little bit further, that would be good. Yeah? Does that look good? I'm looking at the preview mostly, up in the top right. It doesn't look like much, but it looks a lot better than whatever this was. Yeah, that's a lot better. Okay, just gotta color that in now. Perfect. It's gonna look a little bit blocky because like that's just how the editor does its thing, the photo editor. But like, it doesn't look bad when it's actually like fully zoomed out, you know? And that's all that matters to me. Like, look at that. Can you even see it? No, you can't. Maybe if we look really closely, but who's doing that? Alright, so yeah, and basically the Mewse themselves is done. Yeah. It looks kind of stupid right now, I'll be honest. Like, especially in like the way that the mouth looks. But you know, I'll fix things around eventually. But yeah, that's basically just like, ignore the shuffling in the background. That's basically just like how I do Mewse. And you know, I don't feel like it looks too bad, especially for something made when I was like 9. Alright, so yeah, just move that into place. Uh-oh. Guys, oh! Do I keep it like that? I kind of like that. Maybe. I don't know, I'm thinking about it. I feel that needs to go closer to the left, though. Just move that over. Alright, and just move all that over. Yeah, that looks stupid, I love it. Just let it be known, this was intentional. Alright, the rest of the thumbnail. Yeah, I just kind of move stuff around until it looks good. Oh, but what I do like to do is, like, I like to go into here, I use the white, and then I, like, make that really extra big, and then I just go around it with the white, so that way it pops out a little bit more. It's just something a little subtle, you know? Just going around a little bit. Sometimes I overdo it, but I try not to. Yeah, see? So that way it doesn't pop out more. You can barely notice it in the grand scheme of things, but you notice it without it more. You notice when it's gone, I mean. Alright, and then yeah, I'll just finish making the rest of the thumbnail in my own time, but I guess that'll just be like a little filler video on the second channel, or the main channel, depends on where I upload it. So I hope this helped. If you ever want to draw me, please don't. Bye. Screw you.